प्रॉपर्टी आपने खरीदनी नहीं चाहिए, आपका अपार्टमेंट आपकी लायबिलिटी है, आपने रेंट पे रहना चाहिए। आपने खुद ने घर नहीं खरीदा है तो आप कैसे लोगों को बेचोगे?
Heard of these guys, at least some of India's biggest billionaires, in fact, who have their own talk shows as well, used to be very, very adamant on, let's renting makes more sense. A few years down the line, we come to know this guy himself has purchased a grand luxurious villa in Aseba. Now, whether it's an investment or his home, I feel it was around 60 CR. Yeah. So, billionaire, obviously, you got it to the guys.
60 करोड़, हाँ मुझे समझ में आ गया। जब भी गोवा में रियल एस्टेट की बात होगी तो इनका नाम हमेशा आएगा, पहले एक या दो या तीन या पांच नामों में। सो व्हेन इट्स अबाउट रियल एस्टेट, everybody is involved, everybody wants to get involved, but there are very few people who are honest. There is someone over here with us who believes in not selling real estate but educating people so that they can buy real estate for themselves and for their future and for legacy. We have someone with us. So, लोग कहते हैं ना, मैं वेजिटेरियन हूँ, मैं नॉन वेजिटेरियन हूँ, मैं एगिटेरियन हूँ, बट यहाँ मैं कहूँगा कि ये रियल्टरियन है। क्यों? क्योंकि उनकी फैमिली में सारे रियल्टर हैं। समहाउ दे आर कनेक्टेड टू रियल एस्टेट। कोई आर्किटेक्ट है, कोई बिल्डर है, एंड हिज वाइफ इज ऑल्सो जॉइंड हिम इनटू रियल एस्टेट नाउ. I'm talking about someone who started this business of real estate brokerage at a very young age. It's a request to everyone to go through this podcast till the end, because what you're going to get here is a fresh knowledge. There are some people who are very old in the system and they are old also, but there's someone who is old in the system and young as well. So what happens is you get a mixed knowledge about real estate. So if you are a realtor, if you are a client of real estate, and if you are somehow connected to real estate, then this is the podcast for you. We have with us today Deron Almeida from Limestone Realty, and he's very energetic. He is very famous और बहुत वीडियोस बनाता है, बहुत ह्यूमरस वीडियोस बनाता है, मज़ा आता है देखने में। आज भी आपको मज़ा आएगा, थोड़ा सीरियस भी बातें होंगी, थोड़ा फन भी होगा। एंड तक इसको देखो, आपकी लाइफ बदलेगी। यू विल गेट नॉलेज, यू विल गेट गुड सोल्यूशन फॉर योर प्रॉब्लम्स इन रियल एस्टेट। और अगर आप तरक्की करना चाहते हो रियल एस्टेट में, ये पॉडकास्ट आपके लिए है। सो लेट्स बिगिन विथ डेरन। Welcome, Deron. Welcome to the podcast.
What an amazing introduction. I had tears in my eyes. Amazing. Pleasure to be here. You've been so adamant on getting me here. I'm so happy. Finally, we get to do this.
Yeah.
Really thrilled.
Yeah. So Deron, you started real estate at a very young age. तो लोग इस इंडस्ट्री में काफ़ी समय से है, जैसे कि 40 साल 30 साल मैंने देखा है, 30 साल से भी है, बट यू आर मोर देन 10 years नाउ इन रियल एस्टेट, और आपने बहुत जल्दी शुरुआत की। तो कैसा है, मतलब व्हाट इज़ द फील राइट नाउ? हाउ आर यू डिफरेंट? व्हाट इज़ लाइमस्टोन रियल्टी? इज़ इट समथिंग लाइक रेगुलर कन्वेंशनल रियल एस्टेट ब्रोकरेज फर्म जो बेचती है?
So I'll cut this into different parts. Okay. So first, what is limestone? So I started out real estate in Goa approximately when I was 24 years old. Okay. So at that time I was studying. I had just finished my graduation and I moved to Goa with my family. And I was also completing my CS. I finished my first level, second level, and then that was the first time when I got introduced to real estate because my dad was in the business.
Yeah.
So at that time when I cracked my first deal, I started realizing that I have a passion for legal stuff, but I also have a much bigger passion for marketing and sales. And that made me take a very important decision in my life that I want to pursue sales in real estate. And I also saw a lot of people in my fraternity, peers who had made good reputation for themselves and really good family legacies left behind in real estate. So I feel that was very, very motivating for me than a 9 to 5 kind of a job.
True. So when you entered, you found people who are emotionally connected to real estate, or the buying is connected to manipulation of customers? जैसे कि कोई क्लाइंट है और मैं इसको मैनिपुलेट कर सकता हूँ खरीदने में, क्योंकि मैं तो बेच रहा हूँ ना, आप तो बेच रहे हो प्रॉपर्टी। तो इज इट लाइक इमोशनल डिसीजंस, और इट इज दैट वी मैनिपुलेट बिकॉज वी आर इन्फ्लुएंसर्स?
So I feel that when a person has to buy, right? So there is some level. So say from a marketing perspective, okay, when you market, your only objective is to get the lead, right? However you market, whether it's a controversial statement or you want to pull in somebody, by the most important thing is getting that lead. Now, when it comes to convincing somebody, emotional or you're trying to con them. Okay. So when you're getting into the emotion side of it, you, as soon as somebody understands what's the need of that person, and you actually ask questions and understand why this person is looking to move from Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore to Goa when there are such opportunities over there. But if you understand his need, then you don't need to convince anybody anymore. You've already, if you understand his need, why he wants to invest, you won over there. That's emotional selling.
सो व्हाट आई सी इज कि आपने क्या देखा है कि बेचना नहीं है, एजुकेट करना है. दिस इज व्हाट आई फील,
Right.
नॉट सेलिंग. बिकॉज अगर उसको खरीदना है तो वो खरीदेगा ही. सो डू यू सी एजुकेशन फर्स्ट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर एवरी रियल्टर टू डू, या फिर आप ही कर सकते हो?
No, okay. You mean like a realtor putting out education or a buyer being educated in the market?
अ रियल्टर पुटिंग आउट एजुकेशन टू कस्टमर्स, ताकि उसको जब नॉलेज होगी तब वो खरीदेगा ना.
Right, very true. So I feel a buyer, okay. Now, say for example, I'll speak for myself. So when I'm putting out, say, content on Instagram or so or YouTube, I'm trying to educate my buyer on how to take decisions. Now the market is very competitive, right? So when a buyer, prospective buyer, sees my videos out there, and if I resonate with what he's feeling, then he's definitely going to come and at least have a first conversation with me. He may buy from me or not buy from me, but I'm guaranteeing that he'll have I'll generate that lead. So any business, I feel, if you're not generating content to educate them, to educate your prospective buyer, I don't know whether it was going to last.
तो इसमें तो आप क्लाइंट को मैनिपुलेट भी कर सकते हो ना, बिकॉज आप तो सोशल मीडिया पे छा गए हो, उसके बाद इतने सारे फॉलोअर्स हैं, उसके बाद लोग आपको पसंद करते हैं, फिर आपको फॉलो करते हैं, इन्फ्लुएंस होते हैं. तो इन्फ्लुएंस होने के बाद ऐसा देखा गया है, नॉट ओनली इन रियल एस्टेट, कि हर इंडस्ट्री में जब आप एक मुकाम पे पहुंच जाते हो एंड पीपल आर फॉलोइंग यू फॉर योर एजुकेशन, दे माइट गेट इन्फ्लुएंस ऑल्सो एंड यू माइट स्टार्ट मैनिपुलेटिंग देम. ऐसा हो सकता है?
Definitely, but I feel in real estate, I don't feel you can actually manipulate somebody. I mean, you can advise, you can actually show a reason of why they should invest now rather than wait for a later period of date. I feel that's more important. I've not seen like somebody telling me, buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it, and they actually buy it. But if I show value to them, if buy it now, that's the reason why you should buy it now. And if you wait or delay, probably you lose that opportunity forever, because in Goa, when somebody buys a property, they're not looking at reselling it immediately.
या तो मुझे किसी ने कहा था कि ऐसे प्रॉपर्टी खरीदो कि आपको बेचने ना पड़े,
Right.
और ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी खरीदो जो आप बेच सको. सो मैंने देखा है, तो मैं आपको पूछना चाहता हूँ कि ट्रांसपेरेंसी मेंटेन करना बिजनेस में. देखो, बिजनेस में हमेशा आप सच नहीं बोल सकते, कोई संत नहीं हो सकता. झूठ बोलते हैं या फिर छुपाते हैं, सच नहीं बोलते. तो इन रियल एस्टेट अगर आपने ट्रांसपेरेंसी मेंटेन की तो आपको कितना नुकसान होगा?
See, I feel in real estate, the only thing that a realtor has is his credibility and his trust, right? And it takes years to build it. For example, I've been into this business for nearly around 13 years now. It's taken me that many years to build that kind of trust with my clients.
Correct.
So I feel today, if I was given an opportunity to earn 1 crore of rupees and make sure that somebody loses money, I will not take that decision, because I know if I'm going to give Prasad a good deal today, he's going to recommend more clients to me. And it's not that I desperately need that money, because I'm not a fugitive or a criminal, right?
True.
I'm here to serve 13 years. I'm going to go up to 30, 40 years. So that is my logic. But I also understand where this question is coming from. So definitely, I feel real estate is one of the only businesses where there can be a lot of scams. And there's also possible, because people trust over in this business. And if somebody wants to deceive somebody, it is possible.
So in your career, have you lost a deal or have you rejected a deal because of something you felt could go wrong?
I feel when your 17-2 of conversion was happening of land just around 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of opportunities coming where sellers were telling us to buy paddy fields, get clients to invest into paddy fields. They will help them convert it.
Okay.
So at that time, I said no to a lot of business, because I believe that land in Goa has to be protected.
Yeah.
I deal in settlement land, definitely. That's what I'm rightfully allowed to do. But agricultural land and orchard land have a little bit of a conscience. So I'd like to stay away from it. So
you let go.
I 100% let it go.
Okay.
100%.
So because of that, situation has come wherein you have lost a deal and you lost a lot of money because of that.
Definitely, a lot, in fact.
So what kind of clients do you generally avoid taking?
So I feel, I like to work with clients who are more like me, right? And I'm the kind of guy who, like, if you like something, you take a decision immediately. It's not that you go home, you ask your wife, you ask your mother, you ask your neighbor, you ask your dog, you ask your cat. We have clients like this, right? Who just want to delay. So I feel it's sitting on the fence. So I can work with anybody, but somebody who is going to sit on the fence, I tell them that probably in the few years that fence may not exist anymore. So sitting on the fence, I can't tolerate these guys. And they know it, in fact. Many of my
Yeah,
clients know
yeah.
that if they keep delaying for some time, probably I'll stop interacting with them. So they
ट्रू
know it.
ट्रू ट्रू वेरी ट्रू डेरन लोगों को लगता है कि ब्रोकर्स उसके दुश्मन है आपको लगा ऐसे कभी
I mean, definitely, because I mean, look, the entire real estate body, it's so unorganized, right? So when things are unorganized,
या
they are going to be good players, but they're also going to be a large number of bad players. Now, if you look at Goa's market, you go for a walk, Miramar, you go to Mapsa market, you go to the post office, you go to the police station, even dog walkers
या
are today real estate
रियल एस्टेट
whisperers.
या
But the sad part is, buyers will trust their word, try to get the deal done to them, and actually they have no capability of holding a deal. I can understand somebody passing a lead, but when these guys come on board and try to go through different channels who are not organized, how many people in their real estate have seen a check of 10 crores?
या
How many times? So the person handling that should be capable of taking it up as well.
ट्रू
So definitely, when coming back to your question, like should we
The-
go ahead with these kind of people?
Yeah.
So it is definitely happening, and buyers are. I mean, brokers do behave crazy in today's market, right?
True,
They don't have education. They don't know their product. All they know is, okay, there's a plot there for sale, and that's it.
ऐसे
That's
उंगली
it.
दिखाओ ये प्लॉट है इसको
Huh.
बेचना है
And
काम
that's
खत्म
it. So then, obviously, a buyer has so many needs. Now, say for example, he wants to buy a plot. He wants to know what's your title like. He expects you to know about zoning. He wants you to know about road widening. He wants you to know many things about the property, right? But he just doesn't want you to rightly say how you said, point
हाँ
at the property.
सो बेसिकली ही लाइक मैंने देखा है कि कोई एक प्रॉपर्टी है जिसमें एक चीज़ है वो हमें ज़्यादा पता है लेकिन वो आपको ना पेपर में दिखेगी ना लॉयर को दिखेगी ना खुद को दिखेगी ना सेलर बताएगा तो मुझे लगता है कि वो एजेंट को पता रहती है और अगर वो अच्छा एजेंट है वो उसको पहले बता देगा टाइम सेव कर लेगा
To a buyer, right?
To a buyer.
Definitely. And it should be, because
हाँ
just think of it, no? See, even if somebody wants to suppress the fact of a
Yes,
seller, and it
yes.
is possible, right?
या
But that buyer is going to be in Goa. The seller may go abroad, he may just go away somewhere else. How are you going to face him? And Goa is such a small state.
Small state.
Such a small state. Everybody knows everybody. You can't do that in today's market, at least. And everything is so digital. One review on Google,
Yeah.
and that's it for you.
मैंने देखा है कि एक प्रॉपर्टी है जिसमें 1 करोड़ की डील है और ब्रोकर ने उन्हें प्रॉपर्टी दिखाई है ब्रोकर इज गेटिंग दैट फॉर 90 lakhs बट जस्ट टू अवॉइड दैट पेइंग 2% brokerage द बायर इज गॉन डायरेक्टली टू द डेवलपर एंड ही बॉट इट फॉर 95 lakhs just to avoid the brokerage. So I don't know, do you think there is some kind of emotional thing which which makes them avoid a broker which they shouldn't do?
Yeah, I feel in today's date, like I said, if your broker is not able to understand what are your needs, desires, and problems that somebody is coming to invest in the state, and you're not able to service your customer, then I feel that buyer has every right to neglect you.
Okay.
It's not that you just point a property and that property is registered to you. You have to be able to serve that
Serve that.
requirement. If the buyer is asking you questions and you're not able to solve it, why on earth will that buyer still want to be with you?
True.
Tomorrow, if I show the same property, I can show better value.
Yeah.
So to come back, I feel brokers in today's day, or any real estate consultant, any business,
Yeah.
if you don't show value to your
Value.
prospect, then
Okay.
why are they going to be with you?
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Otherwise, there's a method of you do a Instagram reel and then it goes viral and you think people start believing a Instagram reel? Do they get influenced and do they buy?
No, at least in real estate, I don't feel, because I feel it's the quantum of money that's passing into this. So you see, the cheapest transaction that I feel we have available for sale will be like a 1 crore flat.
Yeah.
So if, however beautiful I make that
It's a
reel,
big ticket.
however beautiful I make that reel, or however flashy it can be, or get the best influence out there to get it for us, still it comes down to the intrinsic value of, is that person going to spend 1 crore because they saw a reel? I don't feel. But am I going to get a lead? Definitely. But I don't feel that people take a decision on real estate. But if it was fashion or cosmetics, it's a different, because it's the value. It's the
Value.
value. Definitely.
Then why do you do Instagram reels? Why
For
do you?
leads. For leads.
So it's basically to stay connected in the market
And to give
and
information.
to give information.
I
So
feel in today's date, entertainers and educators are going to rule the world. So the more you can, if you educate your prospect, you will stand out from the crowd.
what is the conversion you feel like? Suppose if you do, let's say, if 10,000 people are watching you in one particular reel, what is the conversion ratio? You think about 100 people get interested or 50?
I feel at office when we work out, when we even achieve a 2 to 3% conversion on anything that we do,
Okay, it's the conversion we are
day.
talking
That's a
about.
good day for us.
So it's the conversion which you are
Yes,
talking
right.
about.
Even anything that we do, whether we put up a video or we put up, say, a consultation linked video, if we even get 2%, supposing, say, 100 people have watched it and I get 2 conversions out of it, that's a good day.
Okay. So from this podcast, we are educating the clients, we are educating the agents, probably some information to the new developers. Now there are some sellers in the market. उनको लगता है कि उनकी प्रॉपर्टी महंगी है, मतलब अगर मान लो 5 करोड़ की वैल्यू है तो उनको लगता है कि 8 है. तो उनको आप कैसे समझाते हो? हाउ डू यू डील विद देम? बिकॉज उन्हें लगता है कि उनकी एक ही प्रॉपर्टी है, वो
Right.
गलत भी
Very
नहीं
true,
है,
very true.
उसे लगता है कि मुझे बेस्ट चाहिए.
Right.
5 करोड़ की मार्केट वैल्यू है, उसे लगता है कि 8 मिलने चाहिए. तो उस केस में या उन क्लाइंट्स को आप क्या बताना चाहोगे?
So basically, what we call this is your mother-son syndrome, right? Every mother feels मेरा बेटा बहुत खूबसूरत है, बाकी सब is not. So every seller, they've invested money.
Yeah.
They like that property so much that they feel, oh wow, buy a property is the best property. There's no other property available for that.
True.
But when we see a real estate,
Yeah.
we are looking at it day in and day out.
Yeah.
So for example, say land is a different topic when it comes to comparison, but say apartments.
True.
So an apartment to you may be amazing, but an apartment to me may not be worth it.
Not be.
So when it comes to educating sellers on their pricing, what we do at office at least is that we put them in the buyer's shoe. I say, okay, for you your property is worth 4 crores. Would you feel if you had 4 crores today, would you buy it?
Would you buy it? That's a very good question.
And that actually, I've seen so many sellers, they won't tell me, Hare, what you're saying is right. But that 2 seconds of silence, no, that's enough. I get my answer over there itself.
मुझे याद आता है एक क्लाइंट ना, उनके पास एक प्रॉपर्टी है एक जगह पे और उन्हें एक प्रॉपर्टी खरीदनी है. जहाँ पे वो खरीद रहे हैं उसकी वैल्यू है 1 करोड़ 3 BHK की, और जो बेच रहे हैं वो 2 BHK है, उसकी वैल्यू है 1.2 करोड़. सो व्हेन ही इज बाइंग द प्रॉपर्टी ही फाइंड्स दैट 1 करोड़ इज एक्सपेंसिव, जो एक्चुअली है नहीं, और जब वो बेच रहे हैं तो उनको लगता है कि उनकी प्रॉपर्टी 1.2 CR की है.
Completely
तो एज यू
right.
सेड, मतलब उनको लगता है कि उनकी प्रॉपर्टी
Exactly. This is one way of it. The other thing is that sellers will also tell you that, I'm buying a property for 4 crores, so I should at least get 3.5 for mine when it's worth might be half the price. So I feel sellers, not all of them, some are they understand the market and they price really well, but some are completely illogical. And I feel they have to be coached. And a more experienced player in the market, the more credibility you come with, it's more easy to give them your viewpoint. See, you're not trying to, you can't force somebody to sell.
can't force,
but you can educate them and actually coach them. And that is the necessity in today's market.
So is it so happened that you have trained them, you have coached them, and finally they sold a property through another agent?
No, that won't happen, because when we want a property, we will go all in, make sure we convince, give value, take a mandate and come out.
Has it happened any time that, because of an ego clash between a buyer and a seller, you had problems and you couldn't manage the deal because of ego clash?
So actually we keep, at Limestone, what we do, we track income
Okay.
and we track losses. So we have around 7 to 8 reasons why deals fall off. For example, like title, that's the basic stuff.
Yeah.
We started putting up one thing where deals fell off at meeting stages.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the kind of people in Goa, especially the guys who are moving to Goa, are HNIs from wherever they are coming from, right? And people in Goa are also very, very well to do. So how do you balance two amazing personalities, high egos? The most important thing for me is that I try to not put them in the same room. Because when we put them in the same room, A will tell B something, B is going to tell A something, and oh my God, our objective of closing that deal is not achieved.
So you are like a shock absorbing
we in fact try to, because otherwise, if we are not going to absorb that shock,
Yeah,
deals are not going to happen.
true, true.
The objective of seller, buyer, and us is to close something, not to show who's greater at
Who's
negotiation over
greater?
there. So
हाँ, कभी मैंने देखा है कि अनमेच्योर्ड पीपल हो ना इनटू रियल एस्टेट एजेंट्स, जो इन्फॉर्मेशन बायर देता है वो सेलर को बताते हैं, जो इन्फॉर्मेशन सेलर देता है वो बायर को बताते हैं. तो आपका जो फिल्टर करने का काम है या फिर उसको एक एक प्रॉपर तरीके से कन्वे कैसे करना है, जैसे कि एक इनपुट होता है, फिर सीपीयू में प्रोसेसिंग होता है, उसके बाद ही आउटपुट आता है, वो अच्छा आता है. सो आई थिंक दिस इज व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट.
You're right,
आप
exactly.
उसको प्रोसेस अच्छे से करते हैं ताकि सबका ईगो मैनेज हो जाए
Right.
और अल्टीमेटली डील हो जाए,
Deal gets
ताकि
closed. That's the most important.
दोनों का काम हो जाए. जो
Right.
बायर है या बायर को अच्छी प्रॉपर्टी मिलेगी, सेलर का अच्छा दाम मिलेगा.
Otherwise, what, you just come to hang out and have a coffee, right? So
या सो ऐसा भी हमने देखा है कि कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज जो हमने 7 साल पहले देखी थी आज भी है. बेचना था 7 साल पहले लेकिन अभी भी है. तो ऐसा कुछ आपने देखा है और क्यों?
I feel even I've experienced that tangent what you're talking about, because I feel sometimes sellers can be a bit rigid when it comes to, if it's my price, take it or leave it.
Leave it.
It's this is how it is. I'm like this. So I feel those kind of sellers, even a buyer would be a little cautious, because somebody is investing crores of rupees in today's market.
Yeah.
You want somebody who reciprocates your energy, right? Otherwise, there's so many good properties out there. And if a seller is very rigid on their terms, even if the property is really good, they can be another option if you have a good seller. So I feel being rigid in today's market, and those are the reasons. Then there can be multiple other reasons why properties remain unsold, right? Vastu can be another challenge. Title, litigations. Hidden, say, family agenda. Say, even if the property is there for sale, 2 brothers, 1 brother doesn't want to sell.
Yeah.
So at that
ये
time
तो
the
बहुत
property
होता है.
will remain.
So according to you, your message to the buyers or sellers, they should not fight for the market price. They should go with the market situation. No, तो चेंज भी हो सकती
You
है ना.
can never fight the market. You can never fight the market. Is like boxing in the dark, right? Or you're trying to cross the road with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
How can you fight a market? You can never fight the market. You can ride the market.
Okay.
So you can take a call in a bad market. You can take a call. Okay, do I need this money? If I need the money, the market is against me right now. Do I want to sell, or can I postpone my sell? If you want to really sell at 20% or 10% discount, there's always somebody there ready to buy. But can you afford that hit? Then you should. Otherwise, you have to just wait it out. And Goa is seasonal, right? You get every 3-4 months, you're going to get something, some churn is going to keep happening for sure. So I feel if you can wait it out, that should be it.
या सो अभी बात आती है ब्रोकर्स की. देयर आर सो मेनी ब्रोकर्स इन द मार्केट. मुझे लगता है हज़ारों में है और शायद उससे ज़्यादा भी है, क्योंकि आप कहीं भी जाओ जहाँ पे भी कन्वर्सेशन होता है रियल एस्टेट का, एवरीबडी वांट्स टू बिकम अ रियल एस्टेट इन द डील. मेरे दोस्त का प्रॉपर्टी है, मेरे बॉस का प्रॉपर्टी है, समवन वर्किंग फॉर अ कंपनी, उसका जो स्टाफ है वो ब्रोकर बन जाता है प्रॉपर्टी डील में. तो डू यू थिंक दैट द ब्रोकर्स or the real estate agents has damaged this industry in Goa?
So, it's like playing with fire. A person who knows how to, like I went to the circus the other day. So, a person who knows how to spit that kerosene out at the right time.
Yes.
He knows how to do his job. But a person who's just a lead passer or a real estate whisperer, trying to do deals is definitely going to create problems for themselves. So now I'll tell you what we do for these guys. So there are so many people, like you said, who are interested in real estate because they see the money out there, right? And they actually see it's easy to do. But me and you know the kind of work that goes into cracking one deal. We know that. What all? Anyways, that's another topic. So what we do, we nurture these guys. As soon as we know somebody is interested to get into real estate, they may be like average, just starting out guys, girls. We start nurturing them early. We sign them up. We start telling them what we are looking for and how to look for us. And that has worked. So currently, I feel we have at least 100 plus channel partners who work aggressively only to source the lead. That's it. They are not going to be concerned with closing the deal. They can definitely close along with us. but the closing will be handled by my sales team.
जैसे अभी आपने जो बताया तो इसको तो कोई भी कॉपी कर सकता है ना, कोई भी अच्छा एजेंट सेम
Good.
चीज कर सकता है.
I feel that's required. If all, say now we are around what around, I feel around 70, 80 organized brokers in Goa.
Yeah.
I feel if 70 or 80 of us also have the same
Does
100
this, yeah.
approach, you're looking at 1,000 agents coming into the registered framework and
Yes.
getting organized. And eventually, once they learn deal after deal after deal, they can also join us.
उससे फायदा ये होगा कि जो एंड यूजर है उसको फायदा होगा.
The buyer, see, buyer sentiment has to always be valued.
Valued.
Buyer sentiment, once the buyer sentiment goes away, that's a doom for the entire business.
लेकिन मैंने देखा है कि जो एजेंट्स होते हैं, जो नए एजेंट्स होते हैं, उनको सीखना नहीं है, उनको तुरंत पैसा चाहिए. आज मैंने प्रॉपर्टी दिखा दी है, ये प्रॉपर्टी है, मुझे कल पैसे आने चाहिए.
Yeah.
तो उसके बारे में क्या, व्हाट इज योर मैसेज टू दिस पीपल?
So it's again two tangents. So supposing that agent is working for someone organized, say like for you and me, he's going to get the entire deal ready on a platter. But if say for his bad luck that he has a rigid seller as his client, he's never going to learn. He's not going to be. He for sure he will not have the capability how to convince that client of what's the right systems and processes to follow while selling. So he will never learn.
Yeah.
So unless he comes into the system.
तो मेरे को एक पूछना है कि एक बंदे ने शुरुआत की जिसको कुछ पता नहीं है रियल एस्टेट में, व्हेन इज दैट फर्स्ट डील ही विल क्रैक अकॉर्डिंग टू यू? 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days?
There's no particular days. I mean, if his stars are aligned, probably in one day he can close the deal. Because
Close the deal.
honestly, tell me, Prasad, how many days does it take to close a deal?
Yeah.
You just need a good buyer, a good seller, and obviously we are so good only. So for me, so when I started advertising, I say I will be able to close your deal in 30 days.
30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was when Bardis sub-register was working good, but then for the past 2 years we didn't have that. So still, when I say close your deal in 30 days,
30 days.
that means actually I can close your
I
deal
can
in
close.
1 day's time.
Yeah.
But is the seller ready to take that offer?
Yeah.
Is the buyer ready to perform? That's the thing.
Is he going to stick to the market?
Exactly. That's
and all those, and is the title clear? And all
exactly.
those
So
things.
title in Goa,
Yeah.
we should have a podcast on that actually.
So the personal branding of every person, in real estate, do you think it's important? Because there are so many people marketing on real estate. वो तो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे ना, क्या लगता है?
Yeah. So personal branding, right? So now let's say today's age is full of information, right? You have information available,
Yeah.
Google, you have information available, Instagram, you have now even Chat GPT. So you don't have much what do you say, options. You can have unlimited options, in fact, right? So say a buyer, say you're interested to buy a property, okay? Who would you want to buy from? Somebody who's well known or somebody who's not known?
Yeah.
You'll obviously buy from somebody who's well known. So how do you get to being well known?
Branding.
That's how you build a personal brand. If you don't build a personal brand, I feel you won't last long in today's day of information, because the kind of people who are consuming information, if you're not on those mediums,
Yeah.
you're irrelevant in today's market.
So when you do that branding, you put yourself into that responsibility chair.
Right. Definitely.
And once you have that responsibility, you cannot shy away from your
Not at all. So in fact, like when we do reels, we talk about conspiracies, we talk about things that can happen to land in Goa with disputes and all. So I feel there's a lot of responsibility that comes when we are creating that kind of content, because we have to stick to what we are talking about. And in fact, a lot of people tell me that they see our reels, and when they consult with us, when they have their paid consultations, they find themselves much relieved. After the consultation, that okay, there is a way out of these issues.
True.
So I feel there's definitely, if you're creating content, you have to be responsible for it.
So, have you come across situation where there's no solution for a real estate transaction?
Like legality, when you're stuck at legal or you're stuck at offer?
Anything.
I mean,
Like
obviously,
it cannot happen at all.
Our run rate is if we see 10 properties daily, we only get to list one. So we are rejecting 9 daily. So definitely technicals, legal, and sometimes even just pricing does not work.
So उसको कोई solve नहीं कर सकता.
It can't be solved. They can't be solved.
Unless the seller decides to.
See, if it's legal, there's definitely a way out. But then is the sellers are looking also nowadays to just, this is my 1 and 14, please sell my property. There's so much of work that goes into a property. So seller who comes with their 1 and 14 to sell the property, is going to wait at least for 6-7 months to build his title. So if he can wait, great. Else, nobody's going to help him out.
आई वॉन्ट टू आस्क यू इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन. जैसे क्या होता है ना, गोवा के बीच में ये प्रॉपर्टी है, गोवा के बीच पे
Beach, you mean like beach or middle beach? Okay.
तो जब मैंने देखा नॉर्थ ऑफ गोवा, सो ऐसे सारे एड्स आते ना, बहुत बुरा लगता है. बिकॉज हमने अब तक आपको या किसी और को जो ऑलरेडी सेट है मार्केट में कभी नहीं देखा ऐसे करते
Right,
हुए
very true.
कि गोवा के नॉर्थ गोवा, नॉर्थ गोवा, गोवा के बीच में. लेकिन कोई और आके जब ऐसा करता है तो कैसा फील होता है, एंड व्हाट इज योर मैसेज टू पीपल इन गोवा एंड स्पेशली आउटसाइड गोवा, बिकॉज ये तो सारा एडवर्टाइजमेंट बाहर जाता है.
So, it's very sad, but advertising as North of Goa to attract a client who wants to buy in North Goa is criminal.
Yeah.
But again, if you look at it, what is the goal of marketing?
Sales.
The goal of marketing is to get a lead. Okay, so I get that lead. Okay, the job of marketing is done. Okay, it had a little bit of a misleading notion, but marketing did its job.
Yeah.
Okay, now that person comes to Goa and then he is taken to North of Goa.
North Goa.
Now he has to decide. Now he has to take over.
It's north of North Goa.
It's
not
north.
even
Oh, that's something new. I only heard North of
It's
Goa.
a north of
I didn't
North
say
Goa.
North of
and गोवा के बीच में. तो when people ask me like, दो गोवा के बीच में, हाँ ये तो बीच में ही है ना, नॉर्थ एंड साउथ गोवा के बीच में है. So this is how
It's
people are
misleading.
sometimes
So, in fact, I feel there's a lot of transactions going into the crores of rupees that people have invested into this. But
absolutely.
if they know what they have bought, great. If they don't know what if they bought, it's a scam.
Yeah. And they've been sold on the video
right.
call and all that. So not and I have seen, जब हम प्रॉपर्टीज दिखाते हैं क्लाइंट्स को या फिर आप दिखाते हो, सारा काम करने के बाद बंदा आपको पूछे वो प्रॉपर्टी कैसी है जो मिसलीडिंग है.
Goa.
हाँ, तो फिर हम क्या करें इस केस में, आप क्या करते हो?
No, so definitely we get these questions, अरे North Goa में तो price is going on 12,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees square meter. Why are you quoting 80,000 today in Asaka?
Yeah.
I said, boss, do you know where? I understand that we are in North Goa, but in North Goa there are so many pockets, right? Say for Asnora we have a land for 18,000,
18,000.
but in Anjuna we have a land for 80,000.
80,000.
Everything is North Goa, but I feel all villages of Goa have a different feel to it, and that is what a discerning buyer. Only once they come to Goa they will know exactly where they are, where North of North Goa is and where actual North Goa is.
So, because you are here, I want to ask you more of these questions wherein मैंने बहुत सारे लोग देखे हैं जो अभी ब्रांडिंग के लिए मतलब इंस्टाग्राम रील बनाते हैं, फेसबुक पोस्ट करते वगैरह, बट लॉट ऑफ मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन या फिर कम इन्फॉर्मेशन देते हैं. तो व्हाट इज योर मैसेज टू पीपल? डू यू थिंक दे विल सक्सीड?
Content creators in real estate for the country, right?
Yeah.
Per se. So definitely, I feel see, false information is criminal. Half information is worse than criminals. They should be hanged. Okay, but if you can give information out, go ahead and speak. Otherwise, you're going to make a fool of yourself because people are going to look at your videos. You may get shares because you're talking something stupid.
Yeah,
it happens, right? We get people who are singing crazy songs also today. They get amazing shares. Millions of shares. In fact, I feel the negative stuff works much more today. But in the end, real estate is such a business that people are not going to buy with what you said. They'll definitely want to speak to you for that. So if you're speaking sense, you're going to do well. But if you're speaking nonsense, all the best.
कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं 80 की उम्र है, 70 की उम्र है और उनको झगड़ा करना है प्रॉपर्टी रिलेटेड पे. जैसे कोई एक बिल्डिंग है जिसमें बिल्डर ने कुछ ब्रोशर में दिखाया था और वो कुडंट डिलीवर इट एग्जैक्टली जैसे है. हाँ, तो इस केस में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे कि क्लाइंट ने दे शुड फाइट थ्रू रेरा और थ्रू सिविल कोर्ट? व्हाट यू सजेस्ट?
See, I feel if I was advising somebody in this front, how big is your loss? So now, for example, say your developer has not developed the project and that has been delayed by years, then definitely I feel you have to make sure that you get compensated for that. But say, for example, color of your flat is not right, or might be your window that has been promised a granite top, you have not got a granite top, now you have got a artificial tile. I feel first any dispute should not be made into an ego issue, because if you make it into an ego issue, then there's no room for any settlement, right? And what if the developer says, okay boss, you're talking too much, let's settle this in court. So I feel if there's a reasonable way out of it, then you should always choose a settlement.
Choose a
For example, say if the worst defect that has happened, say your tiles are broken, you got a, say a 5 years warranty period, you got a plaster crack. Tell the developer, let's get it sorted. And I'm sure any developer who wants to maintain his credibility in today's market will 100% fix that and get your wall painted also. So I'm sure that, but so I advise clients, let's not get into disputes. If we can resolve them, let's get it done.
So basically, you should start with a request and then see if it goes. And if, as you said very rightly, कितना आपका नुकसान है,
Right.
उसका क्या वॉल्यूम है इसके हिसाब से. नहीं तो फिर आपने 5 साल झगड़ा किया,
Right.
उसके बाद आपको कंपेंसेशन मिला 1 लाख का. तो was it really
Your
worth
lawyer's fees will
fighting?
be 2 lakhs. Then what are you going
Maybe
to do?
more than that.
More than that. And peace of mind, harassment, because I know that when you're in a dispute with somebody, you don't get proper sleep at night because you're always thinking about it, right? So it is going to play. So if you can resolve small issues, get them resolved.
Get them resolved.
People are ready to solve things. Only you should know how to speak and how to get your work done.
मैंने देखा है रेरा की वेबसाइट पे, देर आर सो मेनी कोर्ट, आई मीन थ्रू ट्रिब्यूनल ऑफ रेरा, देर आर सो मेनी केसेस विच आर अगेन पेंडिंग इन रेरा एज वेल,
Right.
एंड ऑफ कोर्स द डिस्प्यूट सेटलमेंट इज फास्टर,
Faster, much
बट द काइंड ऑफ कंपेंसेशन व्हाट दे आर गेटिंग इज नॉट समटाइम नॉट वर्थ, कि मतलब ये सच में झगड़ा करना था क्या, या फिर
Right.
विथ रिक्वेस्ट से सुलझ जाता था. लैंड इन गोवा, लाइक कभी आपके पास जैसे लोग आते हैं कि हमें ना गोवा में एक प्रॉपर्टी दे दो और बीच के पास होना चाहिए और 300 या 3000 स्क्वायर फीट होना चाहिए और मेरा बजट है 80 लाख. तो इज गोवा लैंड मिसअंडरस्टूड?
I feel definitely because if you look at that, the advertisements that are happening, Goa is, like I said, in Anjuna, land can be 80,000, in Asnora, it's 18, 20,000. So when somebody advertises a plot in Ponda for 8,000 rupees a square meter, all buyers see is Goa 8,000 rupees. And then when they give us a call, say, hey, I want a plot by the beach where I can get up in the morning, go for a walk. And then when it comes to, okay, what's your investment range? It's 70, 80 lakh rupees. Say, yeah, definitely. You've missed the wagon by 25 years at least. That's हाँ मिलेगा ना, क्यों नहीं, लेकिन 25 साल पहले. That is the thing.
तो एक चीज़ है जिसमें कि आपको एक प्रॉपर्टी मिल रही है और वो प्रॉपर्टी आपको 50% कम दाम में मिल रही है, लेकिन
okay.
थोड़ा टाइटल का इशू है. सो हाउ डू यू डिफरेंशिएट अ क्लियर टाइटल एंड अ सेफ इन्वेस्टमेंट वर्सेस द प्रॉफिट व्हाट यू मे अर्न if you take the risk?
So that's my forte. So I have been, for the most time of my real estate career, I spent it in learning titles. I mean, I definitely could have hired any advocate and get it done, but I started realizing if I don't know what the legalities of the business that I'm in, then I'm going to be wasting my time. So we've had multiple issues where we have co-invested into sellers which came to us with their 1 and 14 form.
Okay.
We started the process, bought these properties, and then built the title. So definitely we got them at 50% less, as you said. So deals like this exist, but you need somebody who's going to take a risk. So sometimes we buy these properties if we know we are able to solve them. Obviously, we won't buy it in one day's time. It will take us at least 30, 40 days to investigate title and do our work to know whether the title can be repaired. If it can be repaired, I will take the risk.
सबसे ज़्यादा खतरा क्या है? टाइटल क्लियर नहीं है या फिर किसी का उसके ऊपर एनक्रोचमेंट है, एनकम्बरेंस है? किसको आप ज़्यादा वेट देते हो?
So I feel a property without a title is like buying a vada pav without a vada, right? It's completely waste of time.
Yeah.
So, and you're not going to enjoy it. So if you can take a risk, if your risk appetite is that large that you're okay to invest crores of rupees, whatever quantum of money, invest any amount of money into something that can be disputed, and Goa is very easy to dispute things, then you go ahead and take the risk. But many people do not. Unless they have a real estate backing. If there's somebody like me who knows how to manage risk, then it's okay.
टाइटल क्लियर है लेकिन इसके ऊपर किसी ने कब्जा रखा है, फिजिकल.
Okay. So there are remedies for this also. In fact, we've had experiences like this. I'll share something. Okay? So there's a property in Tivim. The guy has rented it out, I feel, around 5-6 years ago. And he just refused to leave. Okay. So what do? Do you go to court? Do you fight? Do you go on the property and fight? What are your... So when the seller came to us, we asked him, what do you want? He's like, I would like to have my property back, but I don't want to invest that much time into the property. So, okay, so we just looked into this paperwork and we realized that at least this guy After getting it from his father, he updated his inventory, he updated his house tax, he updated his mutation. Everything was in his name, but there was somebody else in his property. So I just told him, do you have the guts to enter into your house and sit there?
Yeah.
He said, yes. I said, go ahead, because your house tax is in your name. That means
Your
the
name.
property is yours. That's what he did. He went there, sat there. The tenant called cops for him. Cops said, how can I remove somebody whose name on his
Name
Aadhaar
is
card is
there.
X? House taxes are, he's a guy. You tell me, what are you doing inside over here?
Yeah.
So that kind, it worked. It was like a non-violence kind of a situation, but it works.
Gandhigiri.
But you need a seller who's determined to do this.
Do this.
I've seen sellers also get afraid to enter their properties in
Their
this
own
situation.
property.
Such a shame, but somebody who really wants to act will act.
So, someone is investing 5 crores or 2 crores is a lot of money. But still, people sometimes go on a face value and they don't check the documents properly and they find यार price कम है तो मैं इसको ले लेता हूँ. How risky you find this?
I feel that's like, say, for example, I'll give you a personal experience. Okay. So when we are selling land, our buyers know that when they work through us, they can be rest assured of any issues that are happening or that can happen. Now, according to me, the buyer is completely relaxed because he knows that if anything goes wrong, I am there. I am double cautious, triple cautious. I would not be
Yes.
that cautious if I was buying it for myself. But when I know somebody is investing through me,
Through you.
because I am there on that, oh my God, I don't get sleep sometimes. So a lot of responsibility lies on you.
आपकी responsibility बढ़ जाती है.
Doubles,
And then,
triples, in
yeah.
fact.
And then you do more research than the buyer.
Exactly. And in fact, if anything goes wrong, also you'll say, "Arey, don't worry, you're there, no, you'll solve it."
True.
So there's a lot of risk that has to be mitigated.
Which is that property which you did, the sale did हुआ है, उसको कितना maximum time कितना लगा है? 1-2 साल, 3-5 साल? एक शुरुआत की थी आपने कोई
To do a
property पे?
sale deal,
Yeah, from started
Like,
and it ended. मुझे जितना याद है, मुझे 2 साल लगे थे एक
yeah, I
property
feel
पे.
that's an average timeline. So I feel an average, if somebody has inventory issues or any litigation, or say if there's a dispute in the family, it can go on forever. But personal experience, I feel my longest deal has been 2.5 to 3 years, where we had to do an inventory in a family.
कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिन्हें पता है कि उसे इन्वेंट्री करनी है, किया नहीं है, बट ही इज ट्राइंग टू फाइंड अ बायर. 5 महीने हो गए, 6 महीने हो गए, 1 साल हो गया, इन्वेंट्री नहीं किया, बट उसको बायर चाहिए. जब बायर आए मार्केट में, दे आस्क हिम टू डू इन्वेंट्री. ही वेस्टेड 1 year. व्हाट इज योर मैसेज टू दोज पीपल?
Do your inventory. What are you going to waste your time? Nobody is going to buy your
Buy it.
property. See, inventory is such a document that once I buy your property, I can't do your inventory.
Your inventory.
So if you are not, if it's an inventory issue, I can't invest into that
Yes.
till you rectify your title. But if you're trying to find some other way or shortcut out
Shortcut.
of way, it's not possible.
But there are
Buyers-
people who have bought in shortcut also. How are they affecting their resale value tomorrow?
So resale, I mean, the first sale only is defective. I mean, how will it work? So they've taken a risk. Might be they just want to encroach onto a property and sit over there
For years.
for years. That's it. They're not bothered about the title or something.
Huh.
But it's very risky. See, ultimately, I feel real estate is, first of all, it's illiquid. If you have something with title issues and technical issues and you're not ready to resolve it, it's like it's going to waste a lot of your time. But if you want to waste your time, then those deals are available for you.
So मुझे एक जानना है कि there is SIT and there are so many things which is in Goa. तो अगर आपने कोई एक प्रॉपर्टी ली है और आपने तो ढंग से ले ली है प्रॉपर्टी, बट द पर्सन हु बॉट दिस प्रॉपर्टी ही वाज सोल्ड फ्रॉडुलेंटली दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रॉपर्टी. सो हाउ मच डज इट अफेक्ट यू लीगली?
I mean, it's completely affects you, because if your roots are not proper, then the fruits that are going to come from it are going to be completely spoiled.
Okay.
So a defective title from wherever it is, whoever's bought it, is going to be affected.
Okay.
100%. There's no way out of it.
बट उसमें हम लोग मतलब कैसे कॉशन, आई मीन हाउ बायर्स कैन अंडरस्टैंड सो मच? मतलब उसको तो पता ही नहीं ना, वो इधर इट कुड बी अ लोकल गोवन, अ लोकल
Mostly
पर्सन.
it's local.
Local.
99% it's local involved. It's nobody coming from out and doing this. I feel the first step, if somebody wants to do any fraud, any criminal activity in the real estate in Goa, I feel it starts locally.
It start local.
Starts locally.
So how you think the buyer should be, take precaution in this case? उसको तो पता ही नहीं है ना कि वो, देखो इमेजिन करो यू आर इन गोवा एंड यू वांट टू बाय अ प्रॉपर्टी इन लोनावला. आप क्या करोगे? मतलब आपको तो कुछ पता ही नहीं
Right,
है
exactly.
लोनावला का. सो what do you
So
suggest?
I feel a good system, at least now I've seen that lawyers, at least 10 years ago, it was a different situation. But now lawyers are very strict on their documentation. And I feel one more thing that discerning buyers and even we should be including in our checklist is that Xerox copies are okay to validate title.
Validate.
But before the conclusion of the deal takes place, I feel verification of those original title
Original.
papers, especially what comes out from ISLR and what comes out from
Archives.
archives,
Yes.
I feel they have to be thoroughly checked.
Checked.
I feel Xerox copies of these documents are the root cause of what happened,
Absolutely.
right?
So basically, that was a part of the title which was supposed to be done, and I think agents are also not responsible, but they should take it ahead. Not only
See,
the
they may not,
lawyers.
agents may not be able to find the defect, but if you know what is the
No.
system to find the defect, at least know that. So at least then you can tell your legal mind, have you checked this? Or if you've not done that, I feel that's the bare minimum that somebody should do.
What is your say on the fraud activities which has happened over years? This SIT was formed और बहुत सारा मतलब हजारों में करोड़ों का मतलब स्कैम हुआ था. उसके बारे में आपका क्या मतलब व्हाट इज योर मैसेज और व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन ऑन दिस? और ये आगे भी चलते रहेगा या फिर ये बंद हो चुका है?
No, first of all, I feel it has stopped.
ओके.
I feel those guys who had manipulated, they had manipulated documents to such an extent that it was difficult. I mean, they extracted documents, manipulated them, and then the original records were only removed. So how do you verify something where you have a
Verify
Xerox?
something.
How do you verify an original if the original is only not there?
Not there.
So it was something that happened at a very big level. And I feel the SIT is still investigating. There's a lot of investigations going. A lot of people have got affected by it. A lot of people.
So, whatever we have communicated so far, what I feel is that what your papers cannot see, what your buyers and sellers cannot see, the agent may see that
Yeah.
because he's actually having a bird eye view
Yeah,
on
he
the
should
whole
have the bird's
property.
eye view and know how to look and what to
Yeah.
look for.
And it's
He may not
important.
know the answer. I mean,
Yeah.
see, that's being, we can't give a legal advice because we are not from that business.
Yes.
But we can definitely coach, train, and
Hmm.
consult. And that should be the thing. No? Okay, have you checked this? Have you done this? Have you checked that? Just ask these questions and I feel that should, but we should know what to ask.
कभी कभी क्या होता है कि ना बहुत ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन बहुत ज़्यादा कोचिंग भी थोड़ा ऐसा लगता है कि क्लाइंट को ऐसा लगता है ये इतना क्यों बता रहा है, इतना ज़्यादा ट्रेनिंग क्यों दे रहा है मुझे.
Anything in excess is bad.
आई हैव सीन दैट.
Definitely.
या सो अभी ये तो बहुत हो गया, मतलब हम लोग इतना सीरियस टॉपिक पे बात कर रहे हैं. लेट्स इन इट्स
Have some fun
गोवा.
now.
इट्स गोवा एंड इट्स फन एंड इट्स अ प्लेस, इट्स अ टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन.
Right.
इट्स द मोस्ट सॉर्ट आउट प्रेफर्ड लोकेशन
Right,
फॉर एनीबॉडी
definitely.
कमिंग टू गोवा एंड बाइंग प्रॉपर्टीज.
Right.
आप बोलो कि लोनावला में लेना है, गोवा में लेना है, गोवा बोलेगा.
Right, very true.
मतलब अगर देखा जाए तो
Hey, when you look at, let's say you're sitting in Bombay or sitting in Delhi, and you just utter the word Goa, no, there's a smile on people's face. Like,
Achhi, you're
you're
from
Goa, exactly. Oh, you're from Goa. Wow, you might be going to the beach every day.
अभी पास फ्रॉम देयर.
They don't know how we traveled through Pororum traffic and came just now.
सो गोवा में जब बोलते हैं कि तो लेट्स कम टू द पॉइंट ऑफ अर्निंग पोटेंशियल इन गोवा, तो हाउ डज एयरबीएनबी वर्क्स हियर? व्हाट इज दैट? Because when we see the Instagram reels by some people, they show figures like 13%, 15%. So how we want to educate the buyers who are looking at a ROI perspective of investments in Goa?
So Goa is a tourist destination, so Airbnb is very much alive. But okay, I feel every business is cyclical, right? So you have cycles. And I feel the last 1-2 years, Goa tourism didn't do really well for so many aspects. When we have taxi issues, we have road issues, we have timing issues. So I feel a tourist who wants to come here to Goa, they want to enjoy. But when they looked at your number plate and judged for where you're coming from, I feel that's something serious that we as Goans need to really work on how we look at tourists who come here, because I feel this is a cycle. You come to Goa to enjoy between your 25 to 30. When you go up to 35, 40, you come here to invest.
Invest.
So I feel it's a dream of everybody who has watched Dil Chahta Hai to come to Goa. They come to Goa. They fall in love with Goa.
बट उससे तो गोवा खत्म हो जाएगा ना. आप इमेजिन करना, इतने सारे टूरिस्ट, लैक्स ऑफ टूरिस्ट कम हियर इन गोवा एंड देन दे, एज यू सेड, दे वांट टू बाय प्रॉपर्टीज. उससे तो गोवा खत्म हो जाएगा ना फिर.
There's so many builders still saying, boss, buy my property. So much unsold stock is there, Prasad. We can definitely accommodate them.
Okay, I also have an answer for that because it's not that everybody wants to come and stay in Goa.
Right,
It's very
right,
difficult because the kind of culture which is there in
right.
Goa, it doesn't allow,
And
it
also
doesn't suit.
the kind of jobs also, I feel that
Yeah.
Goa does not have those kind of MNC. The MNC culture is not there.
Hmm.
So I know so many of my friends who would love to move to Goa, but because the job restricts them to move.
Restricts
That's
them.
it.
So
Work from home. If you have that privilege,
yeah.
you're going to enjoy Goa.
True, true. So
Ha,
Airbnb
coming back.
and long-term rentals, which is that you suggest someone has bought a villa today and then it has to go on some income
Right.
ROI. So what do you suggest?
So it depends on your capability, and I
Hmm.
feel how much time, because Airbnb is not a part-time business; it's a full-time business. So people who treat it like a full-time business, where you have marketing, you have sales, you have operations, and you have post-loyalty programs, they are the guys who succeed. The guys who think, oh, I'll list it on Airbnb, and when my guest comes over there, I'll
Yeah.
just tell him, okay, चाबी
हाँ
उधर
हाँ
बेकरी में
हाँ
है,
हाँ
लेके जाओ. I feel Airbnb is more about experience. The
experience
guys who are successful in today, who are earning 13, 14, 20% also,
percent, yeah,
they are the guys who are giving you experiences. So
experience.
if you are in the market to rent out your property and create an experience, you're going to be a winner. But if you don't have the time and you just want to make boring money is good money, by the way, huh? Rent out long term,
Rent out long
there
term.
is still a lot of people out there, and it's not cheap. For example, apartments in Anjuna, which we sold, I feel around 40-45 lakhs. Apartments we sold around 5 years ago, they are giving you a rental today of 35,000 rupees a month.
Oh,
How isn't that good?
yeah,
That's long term,
true.
not short term. Short term, in fact, the guys who have taken it at 35-40,000 rupees a month are also earning business. So think
Yeah,
of the money of 45 lakh rupees investment has given you. Obviously, it's not 45 anymore.
yeah.
It's
It's
80 to
it's
90
80 to
or even
90 or
1 crore
1
today.
CR. So
But
today
look at that.
you might look at it as like 3.5% to 4%, but actual returns is
Yes,
10%.
right. And I feel if you give real estate at any entry level, you're not going to get that 10% return. I feel when you enter, let's accept the fact that you're going to enter at 5 to 6.
5 to
But I feel
6,
you give Goa 3 years, you will reach 8 to 10%.
8 to 10.
And I've seen this from the past 13 years of operation. I've seen this happening.
Hmm. So if you want to earn more ROI, you can't be just sitting in Delhi and Bombay and think that my property will give me 10%, 15% returns.
All right.
You need to work on
You
it.
need to work on it.
On
You
it.
need to work on it, or you have a
That's a
team, or you
business.
have a team. You have to have a business out
Yeah.
of it.
It's a
But
business.
if you're thinking just put a property on Airbnb, you may do well because the first
Yeah.
1 week to 1 month Airbnb really promotes you.
True.
But
True.
after that, what are you going to
After so basically your passive income in Goa can be earned.
do? Definitely,
Yeah, but
definitely.
you need to put your time and efforts
I know people who have left their day jobs or even lost their jobs during COVID, moved to
there.
Goa, and they are full-time amazing Airbnb hosts.
Okay.
And the business of Airbnb does not stop at Airbnb. They are selling experiences, they're selling night tours, they're selling walks, they're selling experiences. I feel that's where the business evolves.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, ROI is misunderstood by people. They
Exactly.
feel like it's 10% or 15%. So if you have seen any Instagram reel which shows 15% returns, then there must be a lot of work involved in it.
A lot of work, and trust me, I've had my share of experience with Airbnb as well,
Airbnb.
because initially when I started off, we used to run a few properties,
Okay.
but then I realized like I feel real estate broking is something
Yes.
more that works for me, because the guests call you up at odd hours of the day and you have to service them. If you don't service them, you're not going to get a great review. So that is what it is.
There are a lot of young guys, young people who are entering real estate market, and real estate is something which needs a lot of experience. So, is it dangerous? Because someone of age of 21 just enters real estate, he doesn't know, he's not bought any property. How is he going to convince someone to buy a property of
Exactly.
5 crore?
When you have not bought
You
yourself,
have not
right?
bought yourself.
So that's where credibility comes in play. How do you position yourself as an industry expert when you start your business? So I feel, again, if you understand your needs of your customer and actually know how to solve them, no Prasad, I feel even a person who has just started out, who's a fresher, who knows how to solve problems, and problems, there are a lot of problems in our industry. If you can
Yes.
solve them, you don't need to solve it yourself. But if you know the person who can solve things for your customer, I feel you'll win.
Yeah.
But the ratio is 1 to 2% out of 100.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's
It's
where
a
it is.
a shortcut kind of,
Right. And if you're thinking of earning, like, I don't know, crazy amounts of money in your first years of starting, I feel that's a very high expectation, and you may just lose interest in the entire business.
So how do you also see some profession? I would not want to name them. Taking up real estate also as a career. So they are simultaneously doing two things. They are also this, and they are also real estate agent. They are also, like
I know.
I don't want to name the profession, but of that level, and they are also real estate agents. How do you see that?
I feel they're not doing justice to themselves. They are the guys who are standing with one leg on one boat and the other one on the other. As in the end, you are going to fall in the center. It's as simple as that. Because I understand why you can't name what kind of businesses, but actually, it's the sad. It's so sad. That means, are you not passionate about your own business that you're trying to do this on the side?
True.
And real estate is not a side hustle. It's
Yeah,
even bigger than the main hustle.
main hustle. Or you become a broker straight away. Leave
Exactly,
everything and become an
exactly.
agent.
But that's where people will not want to do that
Yeah,
as well.
they don't want to be called a agent, but they want money out of that
Exactly,
deal.
right.
आप मेरे को ये डील करा दो, मुझे पैसे दे दो, मेरा नाम मत बताना.
Maybe viewers can tell us in the comment section which business we're talking about.
Yeah, so earlier it was like आपको ब्रोकर बोलने में शर्म आती थी.
Right.
आज ऐसा है कि कितने सारे प्रोफेशनल्स इस इंडस्ट्री में है.
True.
And there are some
By
professionals-
choice.
by choice.
By choice. Some are by chance, but today it's by
Absolutely.
choice.
कितना समय लगता है किसी को एक क्रेडिबिलिटी बिल्ड करने में इन रियल एस्टेट एज एन
I
एजेंट?
feel give it at least 3 to 5 years, build a good clientele, get some reviews, understand the market. And I feel it's very important to know your niche. Now, it took me at least around 8 years to understand my niche is land and settlements. I understand land, I understand how to settle disputes. So that's my forte. But I have a team who takes
Yeah.
care of rentals, takes care of apartments, takes care of warehousing as well. So the core business is still broking, but my niche, it took me 8 years at least to
8
understand
years.
my subject thoroughly.
Absolutely.
I feel that's the kind of time, that's your internship.
Yeah, you said 8. I feel it's about 10, like 1 decade.
It depends if you're a fast learner.
Yeah, and then what you do after that, your 80% work is done.
Right, very
It
true.
goes in a pilot mode.
Very true.
That's what we have seen. Of course, it's in almost every profession, but for real estate, it's like blessing. If you take it for 8 to 10 years,
I mean,
proper
you
way.
learn so much because every deal is different, right?
Absolutely.
There's not one standard. Okay, the process might be same,
Yeah.
but everyone's expectations, everyone's needs, everyone's desires are so different. Every deal is something new that you learn, and I love that.
Yeah.
The challenging part of real estate, in fact, is the best thing. It keeps me alive actually every day. Oh, a new challenge. Amazing! Wow, let's see how we can learn something from this.
Otherwise, it will become monotonous.
Yeah, and it gets boring, and that's when you want to have a side hustle.
Absolutely. Darren, a lot of people also tried luring customers that, okay, we don't charge you any brokerage, no commission, it's the cheapest property and blah, blah, blah. How do you look at this and how do you make your customers aware? Because it's affecting your traditional business of brokerage. You take 2% or whatever, more than 2% and that. So how does it affect you?
I feel at this time, a buyer should understand that nothing happens for free.
Free.
And if somebody is telling you come for free, bhago, run.
Run.
Can you imagine somebody doing work for free? That means there is something else in the deal that is not being disclosed. So are you going to work for free? No one's going to work for free.
Yeah. So according to you, in future in Goa, who is going to struggle more? Either the buyers, brokers, or the developers, considering the situation today?
I just hope brokers don't have to suffer. No, but I feel it's a cycle, right, Prasad?
Yeah.
So if the developer suffers, the brokers will suffer. If the buyer suffer, the brokers will suffer. So I feel it has to be, the system has to be in such a way that obviously competition is very healthy and you need competition, but it has to be healthy. And I feel if we all strive to have win-win deals, then I feel it's going to be a fantastic ecosystem of business.
So now we are talking about content driven advisors. तो कितने सारे लोग हैं जिनको सारा इन्फॉर्मेशन है, या फिर गूगल भी आपको प्रोवाइड करता है इन्फॉर्मेशन. तो आप गूगल से डेटा ले लो और अपने कंटेंट में डाल दो, और वही चीज़ अपने इंस्टाग्राम रील पे डाल दो, या फिर वॉट एवर कंटेंट यू आर मेकिंग. So there will be so many people tomorrow after this podcast, or of course they must be doing without even before this podcast as well. तो इतने सारे लोग आएंगे जो खाली कंटेंट बेचेंगे, प्रोडक्ट बाद में आएगा. तो इसको कैसे आप देखते हो?
When I feel I was one of the few initial guys who had started doing videos of real estate in Goa. And today there are so many. But that does not discourage me. In fact, it actually challenges me
To
to
make it
evolve.
evolve.
And I feel as human beings, if we are not challenged, and
Challenged.
if you have the mentality that we give up, boss, humans will not evolve only.
So
So I
you
feel
improvise.
challenges and adversity makes you a true businessman. Actually, I
Yeah.
feel an adversity thrown to you, and if you come out of it, you will definitely succeed.
And out of those 100 content creators, 87% will fail or 95% will fail, and
If they are not able
they are
to
not good.
service their clients and they are good at content creation only, see, content creation will do its work of bringing you clients. But then what are you going to do after that? You
After
have to
that.
actually deliver. So to deliver, you need years of experience back.
Yes.
So if you
And
can't
you need to
deliver, you're going to fail.
have support of your
Right.
staff and your knowledge and everything, and the inventory and the resources what you have created for so
Right.
many
Very true.
years. True. So, what is that thing which people are not prepared for right now in real estate? सब चल रहा है, अच्छा चल रहा है, धंधा अच्छा चल रहा है, लेकिन what is
I
that?
feel they were not prepared for what happened in the past 6-7 months where we had, see, let's be honest, right? It's good to have adversity. I feel tourism fell in Goa.
Yeah.
We felt the repercussions,
Correct.
but it's not the end of the world, right?
Yes.
People tell me that, oh, the market is down, the market is down. I don't feel the market is down. I feel we don't have the right buyer and the right seller. But I also believe that if there is a seller, there is always a buyer. So, how effective are we going to be as real estate marketers to capture that data? That is the question that we should be analyzing. Impossible is a lie. How to get the work done is very important.
Okay. So today, according to you, buyers are informed, confused, according to you, or are they more informed?
Like you said no before, too much information can also be misleading. So I feel anybody who wants to buy something, say for example, I want to go on a holiday somewhere, my first go to thing is my phone. And I'll say, okay, I want to plan a holiday to Lakshadweep. How do I go about? So somebody's looking to buy a property in Goa. The first thing is that how to buy a property in
How to
Goa.
buy a property?
So you're going to get in so much of information, so much of information. And once you do that, you're going to be targeted on Google Ads. So you'll be seeing
Yes.
ads on Instagram. So
Yes.
you're going to get a lot of information. So how are you going to, for a business owner, how are you going to stand out from all that information? And for a buyer, you're definitely going to be confused. So I always tell my clients, understand what you need. But the sad part is sometimes buyers don't know what they need. So we
What
need
they
to
need.
engage in a question with them. Ultimately, when buyers understand what they need to be very serious if they really want it or they don't. Otherwise, they are going to just be bombarded by information and not take any action out of it.
Today, the sellers are greedy or realistic?
I feel sellers, it's not about being greedy or realistic, but I feel it's always about somebody wanting the maximum pound of flesh that they can extract. So definitely, I feel if I'm also a seller, I always want the best deal. And as a buyer, I want to pay the least. So how are we going to bridge this gap? So I feel some kind of negotiation. Price is not the only thing that I negotiate. I negotiate terms. In fact,
Terms.
terms are more pricey. If I get a payment structured plan, I don't
Yes.
mind paying what he wanted. I
What
never
you
touch the
want.
price. So I feel if buyers are watching this, they should understand that negotiation does not mean boss price come karo.
Price come
Give me
karo.
terms. Give me flexibility. Give me something, I'll give you your price. And for
Yeah.
sellers watching this also, I feel they should understand that it's not only how much I'm getting, it's how fast am I getting it? In what way am I getting it? That's very
So,
important.
is content creation is helpful or harmful today?
It's very helpful. So you need to create leads. So I feel creating content is very, very important.
In
You may
one
not
word,
exist if you don't create
yeah.
content.
In one word, Goa real estate market.
Booming.
You
Gold
you are,
mine.
you are saying that because you are into real estate and you are a real estate consultant, agent, and you want to sell properties.
Definitely.
One message for buyers.
Don't sit on the fence will not be there.
One message for sellers.
I feel make hay while the sun shines. Offers don't come in day in and day out.
Absolutely. One message to brokers.
Content banao.
One message to developers and builders.
Developers and builders. Okay.
One rule, a thumb rule, everyone should follow in real estate.
So I feel follow credibility. I feel if you follow credibility and see issues are going to be there, right? Solve the issues. Maintain your credibility I feel in Goa that's the most important thing.
One sentence that defines ethics in real estate.
The only thing that is available. There's nothing more than ethics. Real estate is based on ethics.
Foundation.
That's the only thing.
I remember when I started this business, I said, let go. If
Yeah.
things are not ethical, just let
You
it
have
go.
to let go. Otherwise, your initial years will be
Yeah.
pasted with unethical stuff, and then you can never grow out of it.
Yeah. What happens is some buyers, they don't want your suggestion. They want validation. How do you see that? You want to suggest, but they want to validate. They've seen something and they want to hear from you that their decision is right. How do you handle
So
this?
I feel that's where everybody. So I feel that's what makes a broker differentiate himself from being a broker and being a mentor to somebody. So when somebody is looking for validation, and if it's really going to benefit them, I know how much push I need to take if I need to buy a shirt. I'll need to ask my wife, is it looking good on me? Then she'll validate me. If somebody is going to invest 10 crores into buying a Portuguese home in Goa, think of the kind of validation he requires. So definitely, but if you're a good broker, you will mentor your client and your client will look at you for validation. You've won over there.
Yeah.
So if your client is asking you for validation, like, do you feel it's going to be a good deal? Validate him. Give him good
Good
suggestions.
suggestion.
Because you won the game over there.
Yeah. So
So
don't
it's very
distract
important.
him probably.
It's very
if he's
important that you
making a
validate your client and be a good mentor and coach.
mentor. So is creating FOMO is also a good thing for an agent to do? Like,
Fear of missing out. I feel entire real estate in Goa is based on FOMO because I know if I would have missed investing into a few properties, say, for example, say before COVID hit, I was getting deals in Anjuna at what? 15,000 rupees a square meter. I actually regret for not taking the step now because look what's happened today. 5-6 years. FOMO should be the biggest advertisement thing that we can do for Goa because think of it. Uh, Local landowners, they sell their properties. It goes into a hand of a businessman from somewhere else.
yeah.
Do you feel that guy is really going to sell his property ever? No, right? Because you said once you buy, you buy.
Buy it.
That property is gone. And Goa, what is Goa? 80 kilometers, 80 kilometers,
Yes.
sea on one side, hills on the
Limited.
other side. Limited. Settlement land, zoning
More
issues
limited.
on the settlement land, title issues on the title issue, or issues you have technical issues. There are only issues and issues and issues. Think the full country wants to move to Goa. And how much land is available for development. So demand will never cease in Goa. It's seasonal, but it will never stop.
So if something goes wrong tomorrow after doing a transaction, and it went wrong, you think that buyer should blame a broker? Whom should he blame?
So it depends. So there are two aspects of this. So I feel in any business there should be an open channel of dispute resolution. And simply blaming, somebody can just put their hands up after blaming.
Yeah.
For example, I feel we've had some situations. So our office handles a lot of litigations and dispute resolutions. So for example, say somebody had bought a property and they were not able to get their partition done because the Mundkar was objecting to the property, even though there existed a compound wall. So in this case, the buyer started blaming the seller. Seller saying, no, you should have checked your title before you bought.
Yes.
So how do you resolve something like this? The only thing is try to settle the Mundkar. So that's where we get involved. So blaming a broker for doing this, I mean,
Yeah.
then I'll blame your lawyer. Or why didn't your lawyer? So if we're all going to sit and only blame each other, what work is actually going to happen?
So how do you identify a seller that he really wants to sell? He's put a property in the market और उसको बेचना है, लेकिन उसको कैसे हम लोग को समझना है कि ये सच में बेचेगा? सारा काम आपने कर दिया एज एन एजेंट, बाद में बोलते कि नहीं बेचना है.
Like for example, you are going to, like he says, give me 1 crore. You get him a 1 crore offer and says, I've changed my mind. Those guys are just time passers. I feel they're just trying to judge the value of their property,
Yes.
right? I feel it gives them an ego thrill. Wow, I've purchased for 40 lakhs. It's 1 crore today. Let me check after two years again.
Yeah. So the sellers are very emotional, but they expect the buyers to be logical.
It's a very good one, yeah. So yeah, it makes complete sense, Oh, it's my property. He should value my property.
Value
So then what about his money?
money.
Do you not valuing his money?
So, is the sellers like responsible for themselves for not succeeding in real estate? Picking up the property at the right time and dropping it at the
Yeah,
right time.
I feel projection of timing. So I'll give you a live example. Okay, so you know what happened to Asagao just yeah, around 2020, second wave COVID. Okay, people were flocking to Goa when travel opened up because you could not travel abroad. So people started flocking in, and people started initially renting.
Hmm.
In 6 months' time, that renting trend sales turned to buying.
Buying
All the ready to move villas in Asagao on Anjuna sold out.
sold
At
out.
that time, we had a particular villa in a particular developer, pretty famous guy. He told me, Deron, I want 9 crores for my villa.
Hmm.
I said, okay, fine. But I can't sell now because I have a capital gain issue.
Okay.
I'm going to I have to sell it after 1.5 year to
Okay.
2 years. So I said, at this clients want to buy to solve their housing need at this time. So we said, okay, let's visit it. And then the kind of buyers that were there, the quantum of buyers which were there in that time,
Hmm.
didn't exist 1.5 year, 2 years
Yeah.
ago. He actually
Yeah.
sold it after 7.5.
Oh,
So timing in real
timing.
estate is everything.
Yeah, so that capital gains could have managed
Exactly.
by
He could have
selling at
managed it.
9 crore.
Exactly. And this has actually happened. I'm sure he'll watch this podcast also. I know who I'm talking about.
So when the buyer says no to a running transaction or running negotiation, we have seen sellers blaming the broker for that, and then they don't want to appoint that particular agent for that property again to a new buyer.
Yeah.
So
So I feel then at that point, see, blaming somebody is very easy, but let's if they actually try to understand. But I feel at that time it's the realtor's uh, most important duty also to understand why that buyer backed out, and you have to give logical reasons to your seller.
yeah,
Otherwise, say you're doing 4 site visits to a property, and every time it's going to be a negative feedback to the seller, negative feedback. The seller is going to actually feel like, what's going on over here?
yeah.
This guy has got me 4 clients, and all 4 have given me negative reviews. Something will be wrong with this explanation only. Cancel the mandate or cancel the viewing. So I feel it's very important that you understand why somebody's turning off from a deal, and convey that to the seller. The seller is reasonable enough and he feels that's a logical reason, then he'll accept it.
Uh, there are some properties wherein कभी कभी क्या होता है कि उस प्रॉपर्टी में जो चीज़ है ना वो आपको ही पता रहती है, तो व्हेन यू गिव द पेपर्स एंड ऑल दैट, एक प्रॉपर्टी में ऐसा हुआ था कि इस प्रॉपर्टी में पॉन्ड था
Hmm.
लेकिन समझ में नहीं आ रहा था,
Hmm.
ऑन प्लान इट वाज नॉट देयर,
Not there.
बट देन व्हेन यू अप्लाई फॉर सनद यू कम टू नो दैट इज अ पॉन्ड, लेकिन वो सेलर ने छुपाया था।
Hmm.
जैसे एक प्रॉपर्टी में फॉरेस्ट था वहाँ पे भी छुपाया था, बस
Zoning.
फॉरेस्ट नो था,
Zoning
नहीं था,
issues.
लेकिन फिर भी मतलब अंदर से लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स विच एक्चुअली द सेलर्स नो बट दे डोंट टेल। सो हाउ डू यू हैंडल दिस?
So we have as soon as any property comes to us, our first thing is that we first close commercials. In fact, before closing commercials, the first thing we'll see is the zoning.
Zoning.
We refer to the RB plan, right? So when we are closing deals, before we list it to our prospects, who are
Yes.
prospecting
Yes.
buyers, we will first only eliminate 90% of the issues. So, and I feel all agents should be doing some kind of due diligence. The bare minimum is at least, okay, title checking may get difficult because seller will say,
Yes.
"Pehla party lao."
Yes. हाँ.
So that kind of system, if you have, okay, let's leave the title aside, but at least do your zoning or your technical check.
वो तो आपको इट्स देयर इन द पब्लिक डोमेन, सो यू कैन।
That's the bare minimum that somebody should do, but still that is so sadly neglected.
लेकिन कभी लगता है ना कि अगर सेलर ऐसा कर रहा है तो उसको कॉन्शियसली मतलब वो कर रहा है, तो मतलब वो छुपा रहा है, तो ही इज ऑल्सो डूइंग अ फ्रॉडुलेंट एक्टिविटी।
Obviously, that means
वी
he's trying
कंसिडर
to
इट एज
deceive
फ्रॉड।
somebody. 100% is criminal. These guys should be hanged or put up on hung somewhere up on Giri Highway or something.
Yeah, so it's become too easy to become a real estate broker. आप
Right.
कुछ
I mean,
नहीं कर रहे हो तो आप रियल एस्टेट ब्रोकर बन
there's
जाओ।
no entry barrier, right? I mean,
Yes.
what is it? If you want to join NAR, at least you have to pass that exam.
Exam.
But if you just want to start a business, take your license from your nearest
License.
panchayat, and you are
Yeah,
sometimes
now that
they're
is
not
also
even
not
taking
required.
that. So at least taking some form of license
Working from home.
is okay. Exactly. So it's unorganized. But I feel if government is definitely doing something, and if we have some kind of entry level barrier,
Entry-level
some kind of thing, it'll definitely help.
Yeah.
And see the industry, right? Crores of rupees into the real estate business, and in an unorganized sector,
एक दिन में 250 करोड़ से 300 करोड़ की बात तो हम ऐसे ही करते हैं
Yeah, right. Very true. Very
रियल
true.
एस्टेट में.
Very true. Very
जैसे
true.
आज के दिन बात करते हैं अपने सेलर्स की या बायर्स की जो कमीशन पे नहीं करते एजेंट को. हैव यू कम अक्रॉस दिस काइंड ऑफ पीपल एंड व्हाट्स द रेमेडी?
I feel definitely. So, see, if somebody is not paying you, okay, you have to question yourself, have you done enough to deserve that payment? So, just simply pointing out at a property at times may not qualify you enough to receive. And just think of it now. Today, any property average is around 5 crores here. 2% of 10 lakh rupees. It's not halwa, right? So, you need to give enough value to get that money.
But in some cases, suppose if you are selling the property to your uncle and you have shown the property and your uncle dodges you, what will you do?
Oh my God. I feel first I'll have to speak to my mom. He'll definitely do something. She'll definitely
So
sort it out.
sometimes you consider a client as your brother and then you
Yeah.
show the property and then he tries to bypass
I feel
you.
it's very important when you're doing business in family. It's very important to have clarity set at the start. Tell them at the start on, see, it's going to be family. We don't want any complications, at least commercially. So let's set up a system of rates beforehand.
Beforehand.
I feel that's the minimum expectation because you don't want relationships getting spoiled over money.
Over
That's
money.
the worst kind of thing that you can expect.
Yeah. So according to you, the brokers should be the advisors first and then the sellers.
That's the
Like,
only way
they
you
should
can
not be
succeed.
selling the property, they should
If
be
you can't
advising.
see, you can't sell. You have to advise, guide, and nurture your client.
How chasing for a commission difficult for a realtor?
If you're not giving enough value to your clients, you're going to be chasing, running, jogging, everything. But if you give value to your clients, for example, I have clients who have served so well without even asking for brokerage. The check has been couriered so many times,
I've seen
and
that.
that is the highlight.
Absolutely.
Getting paid is okay, but getting paid when you don't even ask for it,
Yes.
that's blessings.
And what I have seen is that there's one client who paid me. He came to my house and he paid me the brokerage check. And I just said, God gives him so much wealth
Yeah.
that he buys another property.
Right.
So indirectly, actually, I'm praying for him.
Right. I feel that's how anybody in service industry should be. If you want to serve, first you have to serve, give enough value, money will flow.
Money will flow.
But
So
if you're
you
looking
think-
at it on the other tangent, only money flow, no service.
No
then-
service. So you think that the out of 100, how many will survive in next 3 years? Real estate agents, if there are 100.
So I was looking at data at NAR US. I feel they already lost around 30% of their members. So we now losing members need not be that they are not active in real estate. They may still be active in real estate, but I feel the market is definitely competitive. And if you don't evolve, you don't have systems of how you can get leads in, nurture that leads, sell, have a system to grow your team. I feel that's also very important. If you don't have this skill in you, then there's time that you can actually build these skills. And if you don't build skills to adapt yourself in today's time and generation, I feel it's going to be very difficult for you.
You think brokers are underpaid with the kind of work you do? Like whole day you are handling about 3 to 4 clients and your ratio is about 10% or maybe less than that. So you're doing a lot of work, but the conversion is less. You think that 2% or whatever you charge.
So I
is-
feel we go on to the quantum of your deal. So for example, say if there's too much of title work involved, then we will not work on the regular 2% because there's a lot of time that goes into it, right? So then we have a mandate or an MOU or something that has to be done because the kind of work that you're going to be investing your money into legal, into technical data, survey, so much of work. So at that time, I feel you have to define if I'm going to do this deal for somebody, how much am I going to get paid? There are times where you can agree to work for 1% as well.
Yes.
But if there's no work to do at all, say you're just giving a connection, you're just referring somebody and that buyer tells you, I feel can we work under 1%? I would say, okay, because there's not much of work going on. I'm not going to be like the kind of guys who said, no, I have shown you this means I want 2% and 2%. If it depends on the kind of value that I
तो
provided to that
उससे
area.
तो मार्केट ख़राब हो जाएगा ना, जैसे कि मान लो कोई 50% ब्रोकरेज ले रहा है, कोई और कुछ कर रहा है, लेकिन मैंने देखा है कि जो इंसान कम प्राइस में काम करता है वो उतना वैल्यू नहीं दे पाता।
Right, very true. So I feel what happens is that, see, our industry standard is 2% brokerage plus taxes, right?
या
You don't go out advertising, I'll work at 0.5%. You don't
यस
go out advertising, I'll work at zero brokerage,
या
because nobody works for free and
नोबडी
nobody
वर्क्स फॉर
works for
फ्री।
less.
या
So keep your industry standard always. Otherwise,
यस
you'll be hurting sentiments with other realtors. So you don't want
एब्सोल्युटली।
that. But what I was trying to tell you is that if you feel that the kind of service that you have provided is not good enough, and your client tells you, I feel, Deron, you didn't help me out that much. Let's settle at 1%. I'll say, okay, if you still feel that I didn't help you out enough, thanks for the feedback. Tell me exactly what I did, because I may not get to earn from you, but let me at least learn from you. So that would be my take.
Okay. So, is the short-term content creations right now what is happening about real estate around Goa? Is it dangerous? Because there's a lot of misinformation which has been going around. You think it's dangerous for Goa?
Dangerous for Goa. Well, that's a double-edged sword. So I feel being informed is very, very important in today's age. So even though that may be controversial, for example, when I talk about in some of my reels where the government of Goa can take away your property, so it is a fact that can happen if you don't take care of your property.
Yes.
So now, if you don't take care of your property, why should you even be? If somebody else is going to take over your property, let them
Yes.
take over it. But if you are discerning, you want to take actions on your property, go ahead and do it. My job is to give you awareness.
Awareness.
So I feel creating awareness is massive value. Now, what somebody does with that awareness is he going to just take it, read it, share it with his family members and forget about it? Then he's going to lose something.
We have seen the hype goes faster viral than the truth.
Right.
Yeah, you are doing a lot of videos on giving information.
Right.
But if you create a negative video, it spreads faster.
Right.
So how do you take it? Like, you have put so much of efforts in.
I feel when I'm making a video, I don't actually know what is going to work out. For example, when I did my that video on Kumni, that was the first time where I experienced virality, where people shared, and we feel we got around like 12,000 views. I wish I knew that video was going viral. I would have worn a better shirt. It's as simple as that. But I feel sometimes when I give out videos, it resonates with the audience, and I feel as a marketer, I feel I've accomplished my job. If I've resonated with my audience and I'm giving them massive value free of cost, then I feel I'm a winner at that time.
So, a lot of developers want to come to Goa and start development. What is your message to new developers who are looking at a smaller land parcel and probably maybe a bigger land parcel, like maybe an acre or maybe 500 square meter? What's your message or advice to them?
So I feel if you're coming from places like I've not been active in Delhi, but I've been very active in Bombay and Pune. So I know over there, as soon as your Bhumi Puja happens, there's a line of investors ready to
Yes.
give you a check.
Yes.
Now, sadly, in Goa, that does not happen. In fact, you may have, as soon as your Bhumi Puja happens, you may have some local issues that come up. So be ready for that. People in Goa love their land. So when they see a developer coming in, the first sentiment is that they feel sad.
Sad.
That, okay, land is going away, a developer's coming. So be ready for that. So don't play any mischievous things at the TCP level. Don't change any zoning issues. Be faithful to your land, what you have purchased. And from a sale point of view, I feel you should have enough capital to at least complete the gray structure. Don't expect bookings before that, unless you are really accomplished. Big brands in Goa, I'm not going to name them, but big brands, they sell off the table. They just launch and they're out.
They're out. Yeah.
They don't need Bhumi
Big
Puja
brands,
also, nothing. But I feel if you're getting started, have enough capital to at least put up that gray structure. Then a person comes, checks out your view, sees what he likes, sees the size of the room, and that's where we expect. In fact, we don't even take up projects when they're starting. We take up projects only once they have hit gray structure. Because if you're new to the market, my buyers are going to use my credibility and buy.
Yes.
If you have a problem at your site, I will never have anything affect my credibility.
Absolutely.
So till your structure is up, I will not promote your property.
Someone ask you a question कि 3 साल के बाद अगर मैंने आज प्रॉपर्टी ली है 35,000 पर स्क्वायर मीटर में, 3 साल के बाद ये डबल होगी क्या? क्या बोलोगे आप?
mean, at least the past 13 years that I've been active, I feel I've seen two cycles like this. For example, say when I remember when my dad first did the project in Divim, he sold out one bedroom apartments for 22. Today, those apartments, if somebody had to sell it, it would at least be around 65 lakh rupees.
3 times.
So we've seen it in around 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it a fair advice to give कि मैं 5 साल में शायद डबल हो जाएगा?
Land may be much shorter than that. Built up, now it depends where you invest. So if there's oversupply in a location that has oversupply, then your chances are going to be a bit limited. But beach belt, especially beach belt, North Goa, South Goa, the appreciation will be much faster, much faster because there's limited supply.
रोड नहीं है, जंगल है, प्रॉपर्टी को एक्सेस नहीं है, लाइट नहीं है, गटर नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, वहाँ पे प्रॉपर्टी आज की तारीख में मिल रही है मान लो 10,000 पर स्क्वायर मीटर में, वहाँ से 10 किलोमीटर या 15 किलोमीटर दूर आपको प्रॉपर्टी मिल रही है 50,000 पर स्क्वायर मीटर विद ऑल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर.
Right.
what would you suggest to a buyer of the age 22 years and what do you suggest to a buyer of age 50 years?
Yeah, so I feel the guy at 50, I would want him to buy that property at 50,000 rupees because I feel at 50 you want safety. You don't want to be stuck in the middle of a jungle with no internet, no network, right? But I feel a person more adventurous, 20 to 35 by age, I feel I would take that chance of going inside. First reason I would not be able to afford that 50.
Yeah,
So
one
25 is more affordable for me. So I live with that. Like I live in the jungle, but I can afford that. So I feel I feel on the kind of clientele, I feel both properties sell. Anything sells, but only you need to know how to understand your client.
Yeah. So if you don't respect your land and it's kind of protecting your land, is it riskier
To the seller,
to the seller?
obviously,
to
I
the
feel you need
owners?
to respect your land, and only if you respect your land, I feel you qualify to even earn from that land. Because if you don't, we've seen so many, NRIs, right, who have actually settled down abroad, and out of say 4 siblings, just one is interested to do something in Goa. And sometimes if the rest of the 3 don't support him, the property just gets encroached over here.
Encroached.
So it's very important that families stay united, at least in the aspects of the ancestral ownership in Goa.
There are many people who have got many properties. जैसे कि मतलब उनको पता भी नहीं है कि कहाँ कहाँ प्रॉपर्टी पड़ी हुई है एंड वो लोग अपना प्राइस पकड़ के बैठे हैं या फिर डिस्कस भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, कुछ करना भी नहीं है, उस पर डेवलपमेंट भी नहीं करना है, कुछ नहीं करना है, जस्ट द लैंड इज. सो इज इट ओके टू कीप द लैंड लाइक दैट कि यार मेरे पास 15-20 लैंड ऐसे पड़े हुए हैं, मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना है, मुझे ना किसी को देना है एंड आई एम गेटिंग ओल्डर 60, 70, 80. तो इन लोगों को आप क्या बोलना चाहोगे?
So most of our clients who are in that age bracket, so they are, if the future generations are interested to manage real estate in Goa, then they will definitely retain them. But if the families are really settled out, or say somebody is just not interested in maintaining, because maintaining 15 lands is not it's a full-time job. I know people in Porvorim, big landowners. This is actually her full-time job. She stops encroachments. She handles family cases.
Yes.
Inventories have to, if anybody's passing away in the family, they have to keep getting updated. It goes on for years. So if somebody is motivated to liquidate, they go ahead and liquidate, or at least the bare minimum, get all your title and paperwork into order and keep it ready, at least fenced, so that there's no encroachment. And we've noticed that sometimes these kind of people who have a lot of properties, they sell out of desperation. Say somebody has encroached onto the property, settle it, sell it. That's what happens.
Yeah. एक ना वीडियो हमेशा आता है और हर कोई ज्ञान देता रहता है रियल एस्टेट के बारे में. प्रॉपर्टी आपने खरीदनी नहीं चाहिए, आपका अपार्टमेंट आपकी लायबिलिटी है, आपने रेंट पे रहना चाहिए. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट ये? हमेशा आते ही है, सब लोग डालते
These are probably the guys who cannot, there's a story of the fox and the grapes, right?
Grapes.
So if you can't achieve something, probably make some content of how some other people will also benefit out of it. But at least from a point of view of rental and buying, I'll give you just my perspective, okay? So say you're living in an apartment on rent and you're alone, great, you're happy,
Yeah.
all these Excel sheets work for you.
Yeah.
What happens when you get a family and say your wife is expecting and your landlord wants to evict you now.
Vacate.
What kind of a situation have you created for
Yes.
yourself? Now, second, you have purchased the same property, your wife is expecting, and you would have no tension about at least your
Yes.
basic thing of your
Yeah.
living is taken care of. No
Taken care
Excel sheet can give you that safety. So,
That safety.
buying the bare minimum is very, very important.
Your house, your
Very,
first
very
house.
important because it gives you that kind of emotional safety net that nothing can go wrong.
ना आपने खुद ने घर नहीं खरीदा है तो आप कैसे लोगों को बेचोगे?
See, right. And on an Excel sheet, no, okay, chalo, apartments don't appreciate like a mutual fund. Okay, fine, but what are you going? Where are you going to live? I mean, sometimes landlords, landlords are in Goa, right? It's very emotional. They can. What if they want to kick you out in a few
Yeah.
years and say you have some health issue? What are you going to do? I feel a home. Let's investments can be discussed on a separate, but I feel your primary home should be owned.
It
100,
can be
because it gives
limited.
you safety, peace of mind. That's the most important thing.
It can be limited to the number of rooms you own.
Right, exactly.
But one house is important. And
Very,
even
very important. It's very, very
respect
important.
that decision.
It's the bare necessities, right? Roti, kapda or makan.
मकान मकान तो चाहिए.
It's not roti, kapda or mutual fund. It's roti, kapda or makan.
हाँ एक मकान तो चाहिए.
Definitely,
तो बनता ही है.
definitely.
So there are a lot of creators and there were a lot of coaches who were talking about not buying a property and you rent a property. But later on they became like they themselves they bought properties. Have you come across any of those?
I've heard of these guys, at least some of India's biggest billionaires, in fact, who have their own talk shows as well.
Okay.
Used to be very, very adamant on, let's renting makes more sense. Renting makes more sense. Yes. A few years down the line, we come to know this guy himself has purchased a grand luxurious villa in Asagaon. Now, whether it's an investment or his home,
कितना था? 60
I
करोड़?
feel it was around 60
60
CR. Yeah.
हाँ, मुझे समझ में आ
So
गया.
billionaire, obviously, you got it with the guys. So anyways, so I feel having a fundamental home gives you an emotional security, and I feel that's very important.
और
It can be
कहाँ
a 1
invest
crore home,
करेंगे?
2 crore, 60 crore, whatever is your level of buying. But I feel that one house is very important.
Very important. So now we have almost come to an end of the program. So I would like to take you through a kind of rapid fire. I don't have a rapid fire questions for you, but मज़ा आता है ना ऐसे लोगों को जानने में एकदम से आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है?
Right, very true.
Goa real estate market,
Gold mine,
Goa land market,
bigger gold mine,
apartment investment in Goa,
small game
ROI in Goa.
to be worked on,
How many properties you should buy in Goa?
as many as you can.
गोवा बीच प्रॉपर्टी या गोवा की बीच वाली प्रॉपर्टी?
Goa property.
How do you see threat of Goa market from the neighboring states?
Competition is good.
Healthy competition.
Healthy competition.
Land scam in Goa.
Stop it.
Appreciation in Goa.
Continue it.
Where you see yourself after 3 years from now?
In another podcast with you.
How many real estate agents you think you would be collaborating with in next 3 years?
At least 100 in next 3 months.
100 in next 3 months, and that's how we multiply it. Great. Anything you would like to tell to our viewers if they are buyers, they are brokers, they are developers, something which you want to talk from your heart? मतलब
So buyers, I feel, don't sit on the fence. Take decisions. Goa's market is evolving day by day. If you delay, you may not have that property again. Brokers, I feel, educate yourself, understand your niche, and give massive value to your clients. Developers, focus on quality. Sales will come after that.
great. Thank you, Deron. Deron only, right?
Deron, yeah.
Deron. So this particular conversation, I personally enjoyed. मतलब whenever I see you, I relate. I can kind of resonate your energy, and we have seen this for last so many years. Whatever you do, I really appreciate that. And it looks like as if I am also doing the same thing.
Right.
ऐसा लगता है कि आप जो कर रहे हो ना, मैं subconsciously मैं वो कर रहा हूँ. तो मुझे ये बात अच्छी लगी यार, जो भी पॉइंट्स आपने क्लियर किए फॉर बायर्स, बिल्डर्स, ब्रोकर्स, आई रियली लव दैट एंड आई एम श्योर द ऑडियंस इज गोइंग टू लव इट. Thank you so much for
My pleasure.
coming for this podcast and giving your valuable time. I know you're very busy, and I know how analytical you are. You calculate each and every day of yours, you know, in terms of time and how much you spend your time in what. I know all that. So this is also going to bring a lot of productive
Definitely.
result for you, this particular podcast. And we would we would like to tell our audience that Deron is someone who is not just another real estate agent. He is someone who can guide you. Because for people like Deron, it's they are very content with what they have. They are content with the resources what they have, the inventories what they have, and the amount of business they do. For them, the target is not just about selling. For them, the target is about how many lives they have touched, how many people they have educated, how many buyers and sellers have benefited because of them. Through this podcast, you must have seen that every question which was answered is a solution for your questions, to your challenges. If you are going through similar challenge, he's the person whom you can approach. We will give the details of the communication, the details of the information which you want to share with our guest today, Mr. Deron Almeida. We will give their contact details. You can contact them directly, and you can be his next client, and he would love to solve your problem. And we call it solving a problem rather than selling your property or making you buy one property. For Deron and Limestone Realty, this is something like a passion for him. Okay, and that's it. I mean, thanks for watching, and do circulate this if you think that this could be beneficial for someone looking at real estate in Goa. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.